Hey Nail Techs, it's Jill Wright from nailtechevent.com coming to you with a very important message for how you can avoid not living in poverty as a nail tech as you get older. I've been doing this 38 years now. So I started as a young nail tech like you, and now I am an older nail tech sliding into my retirement years. And I will tell you one thing that I have found you cannot do, and it's gonna cause all kinds of uncomfortable feelings in you and in a lot of people who hear this, but here it is. You cannot give discounts to elderly and retired people. You can't give discounts to everybody. You can't give discounts to, like, okay, your mama gets free, your auntie maybe, your grandparents if they raised you. Everybody else has to pay full price, because here's the deal. Anytime a half price or reduced price person is sitting in your chair, it's taking up space that a full price paying customer could be in your chair. So you essentially are reducing your paycheck to accommodate a person's budget. Let's just go with retired elderly. You know, I love my elderly clients. I have a lot of elderly clients. They are the bomb, but I don't discount my prices for elderly people to fit their budget, and you can't afford to either. Here's the deal. We only see what they want us to see. We don't know the back end of their finances. We don't know what's in their bank account. We don't know what's in their retirement IRAs, their 401ks. We don't know how much their house is worth. If they sell their house, they have all that money. We don't know any of this, okay? You following me? You're struggling. You're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to, get your kids fed and clothed and, pay your bills and put a little bit of money away for your future, hopefully. You're just trying to survive. But every time you discount your prices or keep your prices suppressed artificially lower to help accommodate an elderly person's budget, you put yourself at risk of being worse than that elderly person who says they can't afford your nail services. Now, they may legit can't afford your nail services, or they may be faking you out, because a lot of people will say that they can't afford it because, like, let's just face it, they're living in 1950s monetary times in their head. I'm thinking prices should still be as they were in the 50s or 60s, and that's not reality. You have to charge what today's current prices are for your products, your overhead meaning rent, utilities, your cell phone, your health insurance, your taxes, all of this as an independent nail tech that you have to pay for. You have to factor in your product costs. Now, all product costs have gone up since 2020, and you know this for a fact. It's gone way up. So if you haven't raised your prices and are discounting prices to meet elderly people's budget, you're going to be living in poverty. That's just pure and simple. Unless you happen to win the lottery or marry Prince Charming, those two things are not likely. So here's the deal. Benefits, Social Security benefits on average in 2025 are $2,005 a month. Okay. Now we are like, oh my God, 2005, that is so cheap. Like I wouldn't want to live on $2,000 a month. Would you? No. These elderly are. They've had their whole lives to get their shit together. Let's just put it bluntly. They've had their whole lives. They, like I said, you don't know how much they've got in their Roth IRA, their 401k, their IRAs, their, any mutual funds, investments, stock portfolio. You don't know any of that because they're not telling you that. You see what I'm saying? So don't feel sorry for them, because you may be feeling sorry for the wrong person. You should be feeling sorry for yourself if you're keeping your prices low to accommodate elderly people who can't afford your services. Okay? Now, we've all heard, I heard back in 1982 when I was a senior in high school, I heard Social Security was going to be ending at some point in the future, and it might not be there for me when I retire. I'm still working part-time, It might not be there for me when I'm 65, 67, whatever the years that I can retire. Might not be there. So therefore, if I heard it back in 1982, you've heard it along your journey in life too, okay? So it's up to you to get your crap together and start investing to keep yourself above the poverty level, because let's just face it, $2,000 in 2025, to me that's poverty. Like, it is, it's poverty compared to what we earn at the nail table or in the pedicure room. Okay, so here's the deal. The Congress has said now the money's going to be running out. Social Security money is going to be running out in 2033. That's only 8 years from now. You got it? That's only 8 years from now. And they're going to have to reduce the Social Security benefit payments by 77% for everybody. And that would be me retiring at some point in the future in 8 years, you know? That's going to be you, or worse than you if you're retiring in 20 years or 30 years. God only knows if there'll be a penny left in it by then, okay? So in 2033, the average Social Security benefit payment reduced to 77%. You're not going to get 100% of what you paid in. You're only going to get 77% of what you paid in. So in 2033, the average Social Security benefit is going to be $1,543 a month. That's what they'll pay you. That's what your benefit will be if you retire in 2033, around there. And you're going to have to figure out how you're going to live on that. So if you're not making enough money because you're accommodating elderly people's budgets to keep them in your chair because you feel sorry for them, like I said, you're feeling sorry for the wrong person, because you're really going to feel sorry for yourself if you do that. So I advise you, charge your full price for everybody. People who cannot afford to sit in your chair and pay your full price, they need to go to a cheapy walk-in salon or something, or go to the beauty school. You know what I'm saying? It is not your job, it is not my job to be a charity for people who can't afford our services. Our costs, our back end of our costs, like I said, our overhead, the product supply costs, the shipping, everything, all of that, your cell phone bills, your insurance, your taxes, all of that costs money. And it's going up each year. So the longer you delay raising your prices, and the longer you accommodate, people by giving them discounted prices, you're putting yourself in jeopardy. You're only hurting yourself. You must not think much of yourself or your future if you're willing to do this. So I urge you to overcome those uncomfortable feelings. Put up a notice at your table, or call your clients, or email your clients, or send a letter old school in the mail to your clients, whatever, your elderly ones, whoever you're giving discounts to, and let them know on this day, give it 30 days from now, give them a heads up, that on that day, your prices will be full price for everybody. You appreciate their business. You hope that they can still stick with you and find value in what you do. But these are going to be the new prices in 30 days from now. And if you do that, you will automatically give yourself a raise. And with that money, you could be putting up for your retirement. Get a Roth IRA, open it up. Any investment broker can do this. You just Google, get on ChatGPT, look up investment brokers in your area. How do I find the best investment broker who has the heart of a teacher in my area, who could help teach me how to invest properly without taking advantage of me? Can you please give me a list in a PDF form of the 10 top ones in my town, and insert your town, insert your state, hit that into ChatGPT, and seconds you will have a full printed out list of the top 10 investment brokers. And also add into that prompt, based on satisfied customer reviews. That's how you want to get this top 10 list. And once you do that, then you could start contacting them. If you don't already have an investment broker, you can start contacting them, each one of them, and do your homework, do your research. You can't rely on other people to take care of your future for you. You have to put in some effort and do your research to learn about investment broking. Like with the Roth IRA, that is pre-tax money. If you put it in now, after tax money, you put it in now, you've already paid taxes on it. So you put it up into your Roth IRA. It is earning compound interest and whatnot in the stock market each year. The longer you leave it in there, the more money you're going to have. Stock market goes up, stock market goes down, but it's always up, down, up, down. So the longer you leave it in there, the more money you're going to have when it's time for you to retire, okay? When you pull it out, you won't pay taxes on it because you've already paid taxes before it went in. So a Roth IRA is like the best thing. And you can open up an IRA. That is after tax money. So that you can take your money right now, put it in, I think for people 60 and over, you can put in $8,000 right now per person. So if you're married, you can put in $16,000 a year. You invest that into your traditional IRA and do that in like a growth stock mutual fund. You can do that, but when you pull it out, when you go to retire, that's when you'll pay taxes on that. So you kind of want to do both. You want to do a Roth IRA where you've already paid taxes, and when you pull it out, you won't be taxed. And you want to do a traditional IRA where you have not paid taxes, and when you pull money out after you retire, then you'll pay some taxes, because both of those are going to balance themselves out then, and it keeps up with how the stock market goes. So when the stock market dips down, that's when I buy more. I put in more money into it. And with the traditional IRA, that is the one that you can take as the tax write-off. So like if you're just a single person and you're, I think it's 7,000. If you're under age 60, you can put in 7,000. So at the end of your tax year, when you go to pay your taxes, you'll be able to deduct $7,000 off your gross of what you made, what you earned that year, which then lowers the amount of money that you're declaring that you've made to the IRS, that the IRS will tax you on. So that is a huge tax write-off right there. So anyway, I know this has been a little bit long-winded, but I'm just looping back to the longer you keep cheap clients in your chair that are not paying full price means you're putting yourself into jeopardy of living in poverty when you get old, and God only knows if Social Security will even be there. But in 2033, the benefits are averaging going to be $1,543 a month. So the people who don't do this for themselves now are going to really suffer later, because how are you going to live on that? Where are you going to live on that? How are you going to pay your rent when rent is over $1,000 a month? You see? So take care of yourselves now, TECHS, and think smart. Don't feel so sorry for people that you don't know their financial dealings. You know, feel sorry for yourself that you ain't got your crap together, and go get your crap together now. Peace out.